Welcome back to Yeti episode 58. We're in Maryland for the Maryland Cycling Classic, and we are into those final kilometers. The breakaway is still ahead. It was a pretty long one today, and the pace hasn't been high enough of late that there's been a number of attacks from within the peloton trying to split things off. So as we get down to 13K, Gutstein still doing the work despite having no red bar. Finish line has a big left-hander just over a kilometer out. As another attack happens. Now 11.7, but we're just 30 seconds behind now. So we're getting enough pace, enough push out of Gutstein to, set this up. But we've got our sprinters here, and with that we should be in pretty good shape. Inside 10K, let's go ahead and start pushing on with Alton Garrel. Make sure we kind of hold position at the front. You may notice my voice is a bit off. I am a bit sick, so had a huge Halloween party and a friend's baby shower over the weekend, both of which hosted here at the house, so it was a lot. It was just a lot. And out of it, whether it was an exhaustion scenario or whether it was the somebody being sick around me, whatever the case may be, I'm feeling it now. Still haven't caught the front three, but we're into the final 3.8K, and I've already got, Pickrell getting the starting job today on the sprint, as we're going to kick off that little bit early. Luber's now leading it out. Here is that left-hander already? No, there's the left-hander. Shoe pushing through. And Pickrell. Shoes out front, but Pickrell coming on late. He's not going to get the win, but we're going to get a lot of points. Plenty of points today. Colby Simmons, Gaviria. We got 5th, got 8th. Both of them looked like they were going to be just a little bit higher. I figured Pickrell was going to just miss top 3 and be 4th. I figured Zhu would have been about 6th, but nope. The throw at the line got him. Alton Garrel got 14th. Luber's got 16th. It's still going to be where Chang got 18th. It's worth some points, but a little disappointing because I felt we could have done better today. Tour of Britain, stage number 1, and we've seen an intense pace throughout, and it's seeing the peloton shrink bit by bit. We've got a very small group that's going to see the finish line together. A ton of time being lost for a lot of riders. Abdullah is our first rider who is very likely to get dropped from the group here any moment, and there it is. He is out the back, but there's just 30 left. I mean, Turgis just got dropped. We've got 15K left, 30 riders left at the front. Zipinati is going to need to gel up now. I'm going to also have to form my train, and this is a punchy finish, but it's only 2.5K on the categorized part of the climb, but we're already starting to gradually bring it up, ramp it up more and more as we go along. 10K, and I've got 5 riders. There's only 6 for the start list here, and I think now's the time. 9.2K, we're going to get a move on. So Zipinati heading out first. Montez is going to go second, and then the 3 guys we are protecting. Haglin's only a +3 today, though he's fantastic, and he's the leader overall. We've got a lot of +5s on the expected. The objective, the fitness peak are there for like 4 of the 6 riders, and so we're looking really strong throughout this 8-stage race where 5 of those stages are going to be punchy stages. So we've got a team built for this, and we're already in a very strong GC position with 5 guys here, though probably 2 of them are going to slip away. In fact, let's gel up for Montez as well. Haglund is the leader, so I'm going to put him at the back, but G is looking to be the strongest right now. So Panamar, G, and Haglund just kind of getting the free toe. So really I'm looking at 4 riders. We definitely don't want to be going 99, but Zipinati, pull out front. There you go. Okay, 8K, he's only going to last just a little bit here. But this is going to put the group under pressure because it's been under pressure the whole damn time. Almost this entire race has been high tempo. A group got split off, never regained contact. Another group got split off, never regained contact. And this group was at about 50, and it just continued to thin out more and more and more. So we're now past those 2 riders as we continue to put everybody else under pressure. Zipinati has not been dropped. Montez has not been dropped, but it's bound to happen here very soon. Down to 24. 3.5K gel for these last two guys. Panamar should be able to make the finish line. We're down to 21. Okay, still not 99 kind of territory. Down to 19 riders now. Panamar trying to follow. 1.6. Okay, starting to speed it up. Down to 16. Haglund. Oh, that's right. Haglund was supposed to be the leader. Down to 15. Okay, sprinting for G. And Haglund pulling away. We've got a front 3. We've got a front 1. We're going to win this thing. We're going to take a 1-2. Yes, we are. Panamar, can you sprint and get another position or two? Haglund is going to take the win. Maybe. He does. Ahead of Derek G. That's a pro win, so it's not a World Tour. We're done with the World Tour races for the year, so we're not going to snowball anymore. But that's a fantastic 1-2 with, I don't know, maybe 15 seconds at the front to just 10 chasers, which includes one of our guys as well. Fantastic result here. Really setting up. Aaron Burrow, Lenny Martinez, two of the best guys here. Taberi, Johannesson. Yeah, look at all that quality slipping in. Jack Haig at 20th. Fan-frickin-tastic. That's really setting the GC up on this one. We get even more than that. So it's a 13-second advantage, plus the 10-6 bonus. Panamar on that same time, 13. Only down to 11, so only 8 riders. Pithy and Sheehan have both lost additional time at 23 and 33 down. Next rider coming in at 108 and spread out all over the place and 3 minutes plus down, just a little bit down the order. So we're looking at dominant position for 3 riders. Fantastic position to be in with one exception. We've got 7 stages to go, and we are now comfortably the leaders, the favorites, and now we have to defend that with a field that only allowed 6 riders to come to the race. There's no 8, there's no 7, just 6 riders here, so it's going to be hard to manage the stages from this point and protect the lead, but that's what we're going to have to do. The joy of being sick. Stage 2, I just ran all of stage 2, talked through it like a normal recording, and recorded nothing. Oops. Yeah, I blame it on the sick. Anyway, we controlled the breakaway well. They were well down the order. There was only 3 of them, so that got pulled back pretty easily. Abdullah was the only one having to do work. Other teams were able to step in, setting us up for a triple climb at the finish over the last about 30K, with a lot of it descending. So we used up Abdullah. We ended up splitting the field over, I think, climb number 2 down to about 40 riders. There were separations, not given though. So we had a little separation at the top. Pithy just beating us to the line with Haglund and Montez both gaining time bonuses. And then Abdullah, who was able to recover and get back into the mix after doing the work. Panamar and G all up there. There was definitely a gap after Zonicello. Not enough to be given, apparently. And so no gap there. That should have been about 15 seconds down for Polvoda. Zipinati gets same time. And there is at least the gap after the 43rd. Down to Jai Hindley chasing 37 seconds down. Ben Tollett all losing some time. So in that GC picture, not a win this time, but a good defense of the lead and actually firming up our position a little bit more. Haglund and G are now tied at the top. 13 seconds ahead of Panamar, and then the small group of chasers down to just 11 left there, and then Pithy and Sheehan, Montez at 20th with those big time gaps. Stage 3 was a sprint. Stage 4 back into the punchy categories, and we're seeing similar to what we saw on stage 1, a very aggressive stage with a very high tempo. Abdullah working at the front throughout, but barely doing the kilometers as others are working much harder than him. He's now also totally exhausted, so him giving his all isn't amounting to much. Breakaway is down to 5 riders and also down to a 1-minute advantage, and all of them are 8 minutes or more down in the GC, so non-threats, but the tempo is splitting the field. Abdullah's already toast though, doing that work at the front. Montez and Zipinati are tired, working as domestiques. This is actually a negative draw, by the way, on a day such as this one, with Abdullah now. His expected is +2 daily. He's the only guy not on a fitness peak. Everybody else has +5s. As we hit the only climb of the day, we better slow that down and get under control. In fact, we could see a big split here, 27K. Follow him up, Ponamar, Haglund, and G. I've got to get this. Last stage, I had this kind of backwards. Obviously, you didn't see it as I didn't have the recording going, but Haglund, with a non-sprint, ended up at a sprint because there was a descent on the way to the end. G is the guy I should have been riding for on the stage. Didn't think about it until it was too late. Haig, August, Lackness, and Kuss all pushing on. Zippinotti is toast. I'm going to let him continue to control if possible for now. We're down to 32. Blackmore. Right now we're kind of okay pace-wise for Zippinotti, and it's saving us some time and effort later on. We still have 24K to go, so Zippinotti going as hard and as fast as he can as it comes back together. Yeah, this is good scenario for now, but let's get Montez ready. His pace is not allowing the others back, it's just kind of holding the gap. But if nobody else is going to attack, this is allowing the rest of my team to recover just a little bit and set them up for the finishing run. That sprint point, obviously by that stage, if there's no attack, we'll get on with Montez by that stage. But it looks like, here we go, these guys, are they attacking or just coming forward? For now they're just coming forward. 17K to go now on the stage. Speeding things up for a moment until we see attack or until we hit the base of that climb, which just before we'll have Montez take over.
Only 15 kilometers left.
Okay, 5K to that sprint point, and it's only maybe a 1K climb, so we've got a couple more K to go, hopefully with Zippinotti. Setting us up nicely here. Okay, now we're 2K away, so on to Montez. Montez takes over, Zippinotti, follow best you can. Abdullah, you don't need to be working back there. What are you doing? Sit on. Okay, Montez in control. Last climb, 10K. This is not where you split the field. This is just taking control. This is just setting up that final little uphill swing. And now there's a split. Now it's 16, 17, maybe 14. Can't make up their mind, but this is the final 13. Montez doing that work, setting the other three up nicely. 8K to go. Montez, I don't mind that he's about to bonk out because he's done really well to set this up. Montez was already down on time anyway. Oh, Haglund! Haglund punctures. He is no longer the leader. He is no longer the leader. He's back with the other group. We are not going to sit up. He is going to sit on this group. If they make contact, great. If not, great. Right? Either way. 30 seconds. 4K, gel. Ponamar to set up G now. $2K. Ponamar pushing out for G. And G, go. Haglund. Okay, ride. 600 meters, 500 meters. G is at the front. But he's not going to hang on. He's going to get swept. He's out of red bar just to the line. Sheffield pips him to the line just barely, but it's a second place. Montez is there. Haglund coming on through. Should be time losses. Half a minute down. Overall, I mean, obviously it sucks that he punctures so late in the stage at such a crucial moment, but you know, I'm okay with that one. We still have G at the front, and it's not like he's going to be well down the order. That splits the field even more, puts us in a better overall position, sort of. Okay, same time for the front 11. Bagioli loses 19 seconds. It's 31 to Haglund's group, which is a small group. 47 to the Ponamar group, which was in that group, but they lost contact right there at the end. 117 to the Chasers, including one Tom Pidcock, who's 80 medium mountain, 79 hills, and just lost him in at 17, including Martinez and Turgis and Haig, and wow. And Tollett again even further back. So G obviously takes over as the race leader, and we're suddenly down to just 3 riders chasing him in Sheffield, Rhoda, and Kuss. Pithy is 5th. Haglund drops to 6th, which of course is depressing that happened to him, but he's still in a strong position for points. Ponamar is now 11th. G is now our leader. and Montez is 19th. So we're looking at a good, strong points haul. We've had a podium on 3 stages, including a win. Things are good so far, halfway through this race. Stage 6, we had another sprint stage prior to this one. No changes in the GC. 100K left on this stage. Abdullah doing most of the work today, but the 4 riders in the breakaway are not a threat in the GC. One of them is the leader of the King of the Mountains, and I think he's trying to wrap that one up today. We feature heavily in that with the successes we've had in the climbs, the finishing climbs in particular, along the way, or at least late stage climbs. But we do need to get water here one time. Let's get Montez to go back and do it. -9 draw though today. It's the one day we've had pretty good, lot of neutral or close to neutral, slight negative draws, but excuse me, when you have a lot of +5s expected, it's hard to get neutral. So Panamar, G, Zippinati, all supposed to have +5s today. They could have a positive draw, we just don't know. Now, those 3 riders are not going to offset a -9. Most likely, maybe Panamar drew a +5 on his +5. Would be a +10. We don't know, right? But the odds, not good for it. Anyway, for the most part, absolutely no complaints about how the race day condition has been. Today, though, Hagland is one of those guys. He's got a -4 draw today, so he's only sitting on a +1. We want to make sure he doesn't lose time. We'll ride for him as we get a little attack there from Diaz for the points. Abdullah still doing the work, still chasing for the most part, but others really stepped it up here in the later stages. We're coming up on the big climb of the day, and today is going to be more about setting up a sprint at the end of this one and just not losing time. I think is the way this one's going to be. But the next stage, stage 7, is another sprint stage. So we're going to be heading to a scenario of just one more stage following this one to get to the finish of this race, and barring another Hagland-like incident with a late puncture for Derek G, we're in a great position to take the overall. 20K to go. 89 still in the peloton today, so we're not looking at any time gaps, and one hill coming that we're going to want to set up for Abdullah. It's too late for him, but we can definitely get a lead out from Zippinati. Let's gel for him a little ahead of time. 16K to go. I'm going to hold off on this one. This is more just a defensive kind of day. Too many riders here, and sprint is not our strong suit. Hagland is going to get kind of the tail end of this one, along with Abdullah. So we'll put Abdullah, Hagland, and then the actual leader, G. Which means he's only got 3 guys to lead him out, and still 13.5K to go. And that's why you got to be careful. Let's see, Panamar, 11th overall. Right now we're kind of going based on GC situation, not so much what we're capable of today, other than Hagland and protecting him. But that's ultimately what we're up to today, is trying to protect the GC situation. I don't think we're going to split anybody on this little climb. It hasn't been a hard enough day. 10K, we're going to get a little acceleration before the top with what's left for Zippinati. Gets out of the saddle for a moment, but continues to push on. It only splits off a couple riders. In fact, Abdullah is one of the riders that gets split off. But now we're at 8K to go. So getting these guys ready for the finish. Montez will take over here shortly as we get kind of down and onto the flat. 6K. But it's only 2 guys to lead out Derek G at this point, so will that climb have done any damage to any possible sprints out there? So we'll find out soon enough on that part. Montez is going to sprint and then soft sprint. Keep leading out. Panamar getting the go at 2K to lead out Derek G. On to G. Hagland still following. Hagland is still following. Are we going to get out front and stay out front? We're getting chased by Pidcock. Or at least I assume it's Pidcock, and it is Pidcock, and it is a win. G takes the stage. Pidcock, Aaron Burrow, Williams, Hagland's 5th today, so that works out actually quite well. Final stage, final 20K. Abdullah, again, doing the bulk of the work today, except for here in the late kilometers where other teams are, pushing tempo more than we are at this stage. There is some fatigue in the legs. It's all come down to the two categorized climbs before the end where things suddenly got tough and the chase was hard, and we caught the breakaway within that stretch very, very quickly. Definitely some undulation, though, on the way to the finish, but not much for a punchy finish. But it's definitely not a sprint either. So as we go inside 9K, let's go ahead and set things up one final time. We're looking pretty dang good at this point to protect it for Derek G, even though our race day condition draw awful today. It's actually a -9 2 days in a row, or 6 and 8, 2 stages that we've played in a row, but only 2 +5s today, so really hard to offset. I mean, a +5 for each of them would only see us be a +1, and I highly doubt that they've drawn a +5 just based on kind of how things have been going. So today we do the opposite of what we've done in recent days. Recent days being where we rode for G and had Haglund kind of stay on the tail because he had a poor draw. Well, today, Haglund, not a great draw, it's -2. G, it's +29 on our expected. It's actually Derek G who's into the final days of his fitness peak, so he's down to a +4 expected. So -3, -2 for the pair of them as Abdullah finishes. And we're on to Zippinati. Already just 5K left, so we're going to go flat out from here and gel up for everyone. And we split field, 23. We're going to can't soft sprint onto Montez. Zippinati just push on for the last 3K. We're down to 21 riders and pushing on good and hard. Backing off just a little bit, 2.5K. I want to hit the top of this, then sprint. There's the top, too. I know this place. Panamar. Leading it out. Haglund to follow. And now Derek G. We're at the front. Can anybody catch us? We've got some German National Championship in Hajduk. I think he's got it. Hajduk does take the stage. Panamar gets second. Haglund gets third. That's a good little result there. Just 17 left in the peloton as well. Any leaders maybe losing time would be nice. Montez, I think he just lost some time. For his 18th overall, shouldn't hurt him too much. And then Abdullah. But, yeah, good little result there. Another podium, second and third. Time gap given after 16th position. So Zippinati gets same time, G gets same time, Panamar and Haglund both on the podium. And the GC looks like this. Derek G claims the overall victory ahead of Rhoda, Sheffield, and Pithy. Haglund moves back up a spot to 5th place. Panamar to 9th, Sepp Kuss losing time today, dropping to 8th position. Montez is 17th. That works out really well. So 4 good overall positions for the team. We had, 5 podiums in 8 stages? No, 4 podiums in 8 stages, right? 3 sprints that I didn't participate in, so there was 5 active stages, and we podiumed in 4 of those 5, including 2 wins, I believe. Or did we podium in all 5? I don't remember. Maybe we did. It's a little foggy up here right now. That's also going to be a good points haul. Let's go ahead and take a look because we didn't get a look at our last race where we were in a very strong position. This is also a very strong position. Two pro races. There's going to be a lot of points involved from the pair. Maryland cycling race was a decent one as well. So a triple set of races that should amount to a pretty good haul. So we jumped 3 spots in the rankings to 14th. And the top of the Continental Pro leaderboard for the time being, Arkea. Just behind, though, still just 263 behind, so 250 points behind. Intermarché, though, definitely a bit further down. We're over 500, almost 600 ahead of them now, and probably adding even more to our distance, yes. Samaruk, out of reach. Caja Rural, out of reach. Looking fantastic for that part. Now, the big fear is any of the top, 13 teams, one of them dropping out of the World Tour rankings. So we'll want to check that team index again. It's really starting to settle in now that it's into September and the best riders are done. We're 25th, so we are comfortable Continental Pro for next season. and it's going to really come down to the shift of divisions, and can we now maintain the position which suddenly is first overall in those continental rankings. As for our team, Derek G is 35th, Pickroll up to 55th, Zhu up to 57th. Good hauls for them over those last couple. Haglin, did we get credit for this race? 200 points for winning Tour of Britain. We just secured that. We had additional points for podiums. We're looking at 300 points minimum, but certainly at least the 200. And there's nothing, right? The 200 bare minimum would put it in the top 5 for Derek G, and we don't see it there yet. So actually, we're still missing the last couple of races from the rankings. They weren't added in as it ended, and we've turned into a new week. It should have been tallied. It hasn't been tallied. That means we're looking at hundreds of additional points, which would see us well into 7,000, probably ahead of Jaco Alula at this point, depending on whatever points that they hauled in. But you would think we're going to be, 7,250 or above. Probably higher than that, probably 7,400 maybe. I mean, overall, really good haul of points. When you add it all together, I mean, like I said, we're looking at probably 300 for Derek G alone. Let alone the teammates that also podiumed and finished, 5th and 9th, and others in the top 25 as well. So, yeah, it's starting to look pretty good on our bid to finish atop the rankings. But let's look at that index and see where we fall in at, and that change to World Tour status. Intermarché on their way into World Tour at this point. They're behind us in the rankings anyway, so no matter either way. But only one World Tour team is looking to go down, and it's Alpecin-Deceuninck. On their way down. There's Arkea right at the top. Samrook right at the top. Tudor above us after stealing our rider Zhu. But yeah, we're comfortably Continental Pro, as mentioned. Okay, so checking in on Alpecin-Deceuninck. Alpecin-Deceuninck is currently 20th in the rankings and still just shy of 5k points, putting them down in that Samrook Caja Rural territory. So yes, right now we are atop the rankings that we need to be. All's good at the moment, and like I said, there's a good 500 plus points that have not been tallied in just yet, and it's putting us in an even stronger position. We don't know what the others have done with that week's worth of points, but yeah, feeling pretty dang good. Okay, so I needed one more day. It's Tuesday, not Monday, that the rankings are updated. Or I suppose they would be updated on Monday, not at the beginning, overnight. Anyway, it's actually somehow looking worse than expected, because Caja Rural must have been at some sort of World Tour race and picked up a good haul of points, because Caja Rural has flown up the rankings and are now just over 100 points behind us. And my prediction of 7,400 was really freaking close. 14 points shy of that. We still are top of the Continental Pro rankings, but definitely not by a comfortable margin with Caja Rural's giant haul of World Tour points, seemingly. The Vuelta a España just finished up. Caja Rural, as a Spanish team, almost certainly was there, so that was their points haul. We can probably count on them not securing a lot of points the remainder of the season, though that was a huge haul, and it definitely moved them up. It wasn't enough. We're 500 ahead of Arkea. Intermarché won't matter as they're moving up. Alpecin-Deceuninck, Samrook, just over that 5,000 mark. Looking, actually, at this point, better. That was the end of Vuelta a España and the points. That's Caja Rural's points haul. That is why they're there. Balderstone with 3,500 was probably the guy picking up the points there, or a bulk of those points. And yeah, it's actually really good news, right? The biggest points hauls of the season are behind us. There's one monument remaining on the calendar, and we are into the final stages We are into the final stages of the season, and we're at the head. There's Derek G's haul going up quite a bit. What did he pick up for Tour of Britain? 275 for him. So I was hoping for about 315 more when I was 14 shy of my guess. There's your difference. But anyway, Pickrell, Shoe, both up there. Hagland now at 1,000. Ponamar, Zipinati, Alton Garrel. Taiwan in a strong position to pick up a training point. Is Canada, though? Is that enough for Canada to pick up a training point? 27th? Maybe. Liechtenstein, Hagland. That's probably enough for them to pick up. Ukraine, maybe, with Ponamar. Brazil, probably not. I think we're talking a little too far down, but our top 5 guys, I'd say there's a good 4 nations there with a chance at gaining training points in the coming season. Looking at that remaining calendar, Luxembourg coming up to pro. Langkawi coming up to pro. Taihu Lake to pro. And Japan Cup Road Race. 4 races remain on our calendar, but we still have a number of national team races that are going to see us pick up some free points as well. Right now, it's starting to look really, really good that we are going to do what is asked of us. I doubt that any, especially with Il Lombardia, the only major points haul that's left out there, I think it's really set us up for success. I think we're on track to do what we needed to do. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.